dominoes were falling. Saleh goes, takes the coach, and now DeMeco is the defensive coordinator for the 49ers.
Really interesting decision.
How do you view that? I was going to say, talk me through it.
I don't know if it's the right decision or the wrong decision, and I feel like the Niners had a dilemma. It's like, go with the guy that's in your building that you've groomed who won't change your defense. And why would you want to change the defense? It works. But he's 36 and he's a little green. Or you could go for a guy like Raheem Morris, who's experienced, who's been a head coach, who's coached on both sides of the ball, but would not run the same thing that Robert Saleh ran, would have his own ideas, would change things a little bit. So it's like, do you want continuity with an inexperienced guy? Because you might take a step back before you take a step forward. Or do you want experience in something new? That way you might take a step back too, while all these players who were good at one thing learn something else. So there may not be a right answer here. I understand why the Niners went with continuity. And maybe this guy really is the truth. If Robert Saleh says he's great, and Richard Sherman says he's great, and Kyle Shanahan says he's great, then I trust they made the right move. Because they know Raheem Morris too, and they have respect for him as well. They could have had him. I think the Niners actually make very good decisions with coaches most of the time, better than their personnel decisions. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I'm glad that you brought up the Raheem Morris thing, because I think it was swept under the rug. And this was pointed out to me by Vish, that's who they really were eyeing, right, for DC. And it didn't work out. And,
back in 2017.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
In 2017. So people forget that he was at the top of the list there for them. So, and you're absolutely right about, Shanahan believes in him. The guys like him. I like the idea that he's younger, because then he can relate to players more, at his age, right? And the linebackers have taken a step up every year, basically, under his watch, too. So, yes, he's a little green, but I kind of lean towards the continuity idea. You don't want to change, like I saw the Wade Phillips thing is out there, and I like that idea. But then if he's running 3-4, are we going to have Bosa standing? Or are we going to have Bosa in coverage? It doesn't fit for me in my mind.
I agree. No, I think it's the right call. DeMeco Ryan, I still feel like you got to have questions about his ability to game plan and call plays. Same questions you have with Mike LaFleur in New York. We'll find out. It'd be a shame if this defense, if he just wasn't ready, and you hired a guy who is better as a position coach. But again, Richard Sherman and Robert Saleh have made very impassioned pleas that this guy is not just going to be a coordinator, but a head coach. So, all right, let's see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe he can be the next Vrabel or the next Saleh.
Right. And so I'm glad that you said the next Saleh, right? Because out of the gate, people were like, Saleh doesn't know what he's doing. But guess what? Every year, all you can ask from a player and a coach is that every year they improve and they continue to improve. And Saleh did every single year. And I felt this year was his finest year. I've said it plenty of times. Not that it's easy to call defenses, but when Nick Bosa is destroying game plans, right, and you can just play whatever on the back end because the quarterback has no time. Now, the way that he was, maneuvering, he subtly turned this team from straight cover 3 to man, a lot of quarters, a lot of man that you saw across the board, straight out of training camp, and he generated pressure the best way he could. And, and this is going to
manufactured pressure.
Right.
Well, the thing was, a lot of people said that he just lived off Nick Bosa in 2019. That wasn't necessarily true. If you watch their third down pressure packages, it was actually all about getting K'Wan Williams free and Quan Alexander. He's very egalitarian in who he features. It's not just about Buckner and Bosa. It really wasn't. So he was doing it, but this year he was put to the test because he had to manufacture pressure. There was no, he couldn't just hang back and be like, hey, you 4, go get him. Like, nah. And he did it. So it's very impressive.
So with all those injuries, the 49ers still end up as a top 5 defense. And I mean, that's just a testament to the coaching, getting guys to play. And then, those play calls, like I see people nitpicking play calls. You can do that all you want, but I don't like that idea because it doesn't show you what led up to those play calls and things like that. Like just picking a play out of nowhere and saying, oh, look what Saleh ran. No, you got to kind of give context to everything else that happened before that. So, and as long as DeMeco improves, we should see next year a healthy Nick Bosa, who will be there. So that'll help any sort of shortcoming on play calls or anything like that for him while he comes along. So
no doubt. It's not like he's going to have to do all the crazy stuff that Saleh did this year. It's like, hey, call cover 3, cover 4, whatever zone you want, and rush 4. It should work.